All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, yesterday it was reported that the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, had proposed 105,000 naira to the presidency as minimum wage for Nigeria. And few hours later, presidency came out to debunk it, saying there was nothing like that, meaning the 120,000 naira that Nigerians are even asking Labour to push for is not likely to come. But inflation has remained on the rise. We are at a point in Nigeria where the money in your hand loses value as the minutes pass by. What 1,000 naira can do for you today, try doing the same thing 3 days later. It will cost you more. But the nightmare here is that there is no plan to make the situation better. If anything, the federal government has stated expressly that it plans to make the situation worse for Nigerians. And let me assure you that this government will make sure that Labour and the rest of Nigerians pay dearly for this impending minimum wage increase. The APC government will never increase minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 60, 70 or 80,000 naira without making sure that they raise the hardship level in this country to swallow that increase. To prove that, few hours ago, this administration came out and told Nigerians that they know they have already taken certain decisions that inflicted pains on Nigerians, but Nigerians should expect more of such decisions. Yes, you heard me right. They said more of such painful decisions are on the way. Before I show you how they said it and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this heartbreaking video. As it stands today, Benue State is ranked with 2 other states as the most terrorized states in Nigeria. The state is terribly hit by insecurity caused by the APC. But the SGF, George Akume, who is from Benue State, paid the people of Benue to celebrate this regime. See the video.
This prayer service for President Bola TINUBU at the Makurdi residence of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, is at the instance of the All Progressives Congress APC Benue State Chapter. The service was split into 2 sessions. The first at the chapel, while the second was conducted at the open field within the same premises.
What else do you want for a man? How can we have a living saint? These are the virtues that we are now ascribing to this man, that he was a living saint. Spiritually, he's there. Every other means he's there. So what else? What do we need from this man again? What do we need from this man? If not just to always gather like this and thank God for him.
State chairman of the ruling party, Austin Agada, gives reasons for the prayer session.
The essence of this gathering is just a way of giving back to Mr. President what the president have done for us as a state or as a party. Today is 1 year in office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, who doubles as our leader and father of this party and the political leader, irrespective of party, of the state and the zone, which have been attested by all. So the only thing we can do is to pray for him so that he can come out strong, so that the nation can be strong in oneness and in his belief in his leadership as the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
We should continue to pray for him that he finds favor with his boss. We should continue to pray for him that God gives him wisdom to carry out his roles creditably so that he shines wherever he goes. All the women of Benue State say amen. Amen.
What a shame. This same Benue State where scores of people are killed every single day. The same Benue that has been holding mass burials, and citizens of other states were even wondering and asking if they still had people left in their local communities. Same Benue State where farmers have given up their farms, ran away, left their farms for Fulani headsmen. And these people are gathering to celebrate the APC. and thanking Tinubu for what? What has he done for Benue? He appointed George Akume as SGF. That is his contribution that is bigger than human lives that are being lost daily in Benue State. We really have a long way to go in this country. Politicians are able to get away with a lot once they grease the palms of followers a little bit. And look at all those pastors and priests all there cheering George Akume and Tinubu until the terrorists start burning down churches. This is pathetic. We really need to do better as a people in this country. Now, let us look at that statement by the federal government promising to inflict more pain on Nigerians through their difficult decisions. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu will implement more harsh reforms to reshape Nigeria, Information Minister says. Nigeria's Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, says Bola Tinubu will implement more biting reforms to shape the country despite lingering economic hardship. In an article circulated on social media platforms on Thursday, Mr. Idris praised Mr. Tinubu for keeping his campaign promises, removing the fuel subsidy, floating the naira and other reforms, insisting that Tinubu would make more difficult decisions. The minister said more difficult decisions lie ahead before Nigeria is reshaped and growing economically to the benefit of its citizens and the wider continent of Africa. Tinubu has done what he promised on the economy. He has removed the fuel subsidy, floated the naira, and instituted a raft of other reforms, including changes to the tax code and waivers for foreign investors in critical industries including mining, energy, and infrastructure. Mr. Tinubu assumed office on May 29, 2023, announcing immediate fuel subsidy removal and floating of the naira. His dual policies saw fuel price jump from 145 naira to 710 naira, and the naira trade for around 1,500 to a dollar, while transportation and food costs shot through the roof. Last month, Mr. Tinubu marked 1 year in office on May 29 amid knocks and criticism from Nigerians, lamenting spiking food inflation, economic hardship, and insecurity. Yet, the Minister of Information says we should expect more hardship because they are going to take more difficult decisions. And I promise you, as soon as this new minimum wage they are talking about is implemented, Nigerians will begin to weep because these people will come up with more difficult policies that will make sure that the effect of that increase is nullified. And we know that only few Nigerians will even benefit from the minimum wage in the first place because most Nigerians are unemployed. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Emmy says, more harsh reforms means policies that will make prices continue to go up while more money keeps entering their pockets. That is it. The people who keep suffering, they will be enjoying. And this tweet by Duke of Edo says, with comments like these, you know that this administration will finish Nigeria. That is what they are set out to do. Muhammad Tajuddin says, after all these sufferings, this man will dance naked last. And Ibrahim Abubakar says, continue, karma will catch up to you. Well, if we are expecting karma, it will take a long time. Nigerians must rise up and do what they have to do. And this tweet here says, Minister of Information is informing you all that you ain't seen nothing yet. That Tinubu will unleash more brutal hardship on you people from all fronts, that when next you hear tin, now God forbid, una go dey shout. And Senator Shehu Sani says, we are not paying subsidy and we are paying 5.4 trillion naira subsidy. I really don't understand this algebraic, linear, or quadratic equation. Wale Edun came out yesterday to say that this administration has been paying subsidy and it could rise to 5.4 trillion subsequently. But here is the Minister of Information still saying that they are not paying subsidy, even as the presidency came out to debunk the payment of subsidy few hours after Wale Edun said it. So what is going on here? Clearly, they are not in sync, and clearly there is something wrong. And more clearly, Peter Obi was right when he said the corruption around the subsidy regime is the reason why we are having all these problems. That if that corruption is unraveled, Nigeria can subsidize to buy fuel cheap and still have so much money to do other things, as opposed to their claim that if we are paying subsidy, we will not have money for infrastructure. And Winston here says, mention one harsh reform TINUBU has implemented. Mention just one. The infamous subsidy removal has been embarrassingly exposed to be a hoax. They keep deceiving Nigerians to think they are suffering because of reforms. Nigerians are not suffering because of reforms. They are suffering because you guys are imposing the suffering on them. This tweet here really makes sense. With what we are earning from our oil revenues and other industries, we have enough to put this country in a position that this kind of poverty, this kind of suffering will be very, very far from us. It's supposed to be a long forgotten issue, the level of poverty that is in this country now. After the discovery of crude oil and so many other things in this country, if we had a leadership that is sincere, that is straightforward, poverty should have been a long forgotten issue in this country. But what have we had over the years? A political class that feeds on the nation's treasury, and it all became worse in the last 9 years under the APC. The resources of the country have been completely taken over by a microscopic few, and with followers who enable corruption. This style of leadership, which is best described as rulership, won't end in this country. 99.9% of the people in the political class will not do the right thing when they can clearly see that there are no consequences for doing the wrong thing. The people must wake up, unite, and begin to kick out bad leaders and the political parties that give them platforms to run. Only then will the common man be able to breathe. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away.